Welcome to McArthur Live with your host Tim Bartz, and
Sarah Davis.
thank you for joining us. Got a little clip of us there. I didn't hit that just in time, so anyway, they probably couldn't hear you.
There we go. I'm Sarah Davis. Hairbrained blonde that sometimes forgets to do things.
Alrighty. Welcome everybody. And of course, we are on YouTube Live right now, and we're recording it live on YouTube. But don't forget, we do record this as we flip it over on the podcasting platforms. So about 15 different platforms there. So feel free to catch it there. And if you're catching it there, you can watch it live with us and even chat with us and get part of the conversation. So we're going to hopefully get the group interaction today, because I already got a poll going.
I already
there.
voted.
So go ahead and check that out. So actually, can I click on this? There we go. So what kind of liner, I'm talking for your trucks, do you put in your truck? Do you like the first option is drop-in liner, or a spray-in liner, drop-in liner? You got the bed rug, or maybe even a tray liner, like maybe even all weather, one that goes just on the bottom of it. And then, or do you just do none? Right. And we're going to bring that around, because we're going to talk a little bit about 24 model year Maverick. And in some situations, you don't get to choose. And do you guys like that? So anyway, and you choose your trim level, based on that for the Maverick. So anyway, I'm going to bring this out and maybe even send this over to the brand manager. Said, I think you guys need to re-examine what you're doing here. But yeah, we're going to see the poll how that looks. We have 41 votes already in there. But anyway, so yeah, please vote, and we'll end this here in just a little bit.
Do we got yet? 16. How do we have more votes than likes? Come on, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button. All right, so let's go the rest of our intro though. So don't forget, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Hopefully you guys are subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. Yesterday we had a video on the special Bronco build. We had a customer come through. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, Henry is a fun guy to have around. He's a retired firefighter and has seen a lot in his time as a firefighter, and is retired, and they're trying to see the countryside. And so it's a special Bronco. He is a second day reservation holder that didn't get scheduled, was supposed to get one of the ones that get a Raptor, and has still yet to receive his Raptor, or even get scheduled for his Raptor, because his local dealer, forgot to convert his 22 to 23 order in when it didn't get scheduled. So anyway, he has not been scheduled yet, and so the Bronco that he came through with is one that he got tired of waiting. He was on Bring a Trailer, and he auctioned off, and I won't tell you the whole story, but check that out. It's a pretty cool build, and he actually drove. We have a Raptor available when he came through, and he drove the Raptor, and was like, because he's trying to decide, do I want the Raptor? And he was like, after looking at it, he's like, well, maybe we can trade mine in for this, which is really weird, because he just bought it like a week or two ago. He just picked it up. He was on his way back through from picking it up, and
probably didn't think he'd see a stock Raptor.
Yeah, and so he saw it before he drove it. He was like, we might need to figure out some payments on this, or some what the difference is on this. And then he drove his Raptor and said, nah, I'll keep my Bronco. So that's how cool the suspension he had in that. Yeah. So actually, one of the things that was a deal breaker was not having the power seat.
Yes,
because he's got power seat in his Wild Track. Anyway, watch that video. It's fun. Henry's a great guy, and if you're coming through and you got a special build, I love interviewing people and talking to people about the Bronco, the Mavericks, whatever it might be. And I think that's some of the funnest videos that I get to do, is talking to the community and interviewing the community. When we were at Carlisle, that was so much fun to see what people have done to their Mavericks and such. And so, if you're passing through with your vehicle, stop by. I do the same type of video for you guys as well. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. You got to check out that video. And this week, we don't have too much. I'm going to record tomorrow a video on the 24 California special for the Mustang, that package, what's included in that package, what it takes to get that package, what trim level you need, and that kind of thing, what colors available in that. Also, I haven't done an F-150 Raptor complete guide video, so we might be getting that done as well. We'll see what I have time for tomorrow. And then we do have the Bronco Sport Black Diamond that I've recorded like 2 weeks ago and still haven't uploaded that. So that'll go live too. And that might actually go live Wednesday with the California special being Thursday. So we'll just see how that all plays out. But there you go. Some videos that we're working on and everything. So yeah. See what else. Don't forget about our merch. If you want any merch, it's there. Sarah just uploaded.
I just added new things.
She added some cool things.
This.
Well, you can't get probably the same one, but you
no.
added
So this is one that I sell off of my site that I have.
But the phrase that we always use at the end of our videos: "Stay positive, be kind of one, be kind to yourself."
This design is on there.
Is on there for shirts and such. If you want it with the Ford Video guy.
I'm ordering some jackets.
So anyway,
which
I call them hoodies. I'm sorry, but I guess there's zip up hoodies. Whatever.
There's zip up jackets. There's 30% off on Friday.
Oh yes, don't forget 30%.
Only
on
Friday. Only
Thursday,
Friday. No, only Friday. One day.
30% off. Pretty good deal.
So, yes, I'm waiting till that day.
There you go. Yes. So always fun. There's all kinds of sales going on. In fact, we're going to talk about one later. And if you have an EV and you need a charger, that might be a good way to save $200 on a charger.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten one yet for your mach-e. So anyway. All right. I still have my charger, my 80 amp. I never installed in the house. Thinking I might install it because I know I'm going to get another EV eventually again. T3.
Well, and I know eventually I plan to get a plug-in EV.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So how'd your weekend go? We had your kiddos over the other day.
Yes.
Sunday.
We went and saw Saving Private Ryan in theaters. It's like an anniversary or something. So we went and saw that in theaters. I had never seen it. Lebo had. So he's like, oh, this is a great chance for you to experience it. So we went and saw that. Great movie. Absolutely love it.
It's kind of long when you have two of the grandkids and
3 hours.
The movie theater's an hour away.
Like, 3 hours.
How long is that movie? When are they coming back?
Great film. Found out it's actually renowned for how realistic it is depicting D-Day. So they actually got input from veterans and other people. And then when veterans saw it, they said it was so intense and so real that they were having PTSD episodes in the theaters. So good movie. And then Saturday we did Friendsgiving. Mm-hmm. You go over with your group of friends and everyone brings a couple of dishes and you all eat. Bring all the kids over. It was a wild house, but it was a lot of fun.
All right. So when you had, I don't know if I told you this, I showed it to Lebo, I think, but when they came over, Jaden actually read. Now, Jaden is our 6-year-old, barely 6-year-old, kindergarten, and he was reading this book to Will.
Okay.
I mean, with no help from anybody. He was, I mean, it's amazing how well he reads. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway. So, and he also counted to 120 by once. I was like, kid, where'd you? So you learn this in school? He said, yeah.
Can I send my kids to that school?
When do they learn that in kindergarten?
Anyway, we'll just go live with Jolie for the week and then live with me on the weekends.
Anyway.
Go to school with Jaden.
All right. So, all right. What else? All right. Thanksgiving. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
When we wrap up, we'll talk about what's going on. So, let's see. What else? Talked about our membership. Talk about that real quick.
Yes.
That's your cue. Ready?
Yes, let's talk about membership. If you'd like to become a member, it's that join button right beside the subscribe button. It will pull up and show you what the perks are and everything. If you're an iPhone user, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your web browser. Go up to the little A and big A in the link and request desktop browser. At that point, you'll be able to see it. iPhone does things differently. Now, if you would like to see member-only content, it's under the community and membership tabs. We do a live stream each week. We do a lot walk each week. When we go on trips, we post special member-only content. Holidays, we'll usually do special member content.
I did speaking of that, we went to the parade
Yeah.
Festival Lights Parade on Saturday.
I saw
There was
that.
a Maverick
Yeah.
there. So and there was also a lightning. I should have got one
Is
of that.
that the Festival of Lights? Because it says it's supposed to be on December 8th or December 2nd.
I thought it was Festival Lights. Anyway, we went over.
Maybe
Supposed to
you
start
did
at
too.
6, and we left the house at 6:30. But we must have caught the beginning because that thing was long. I was like, "Is this thing over yet?" Of course, I'm trying to watch the KUK State game too on my phone.
Did you see the band?
Well, no.
High school band.
I saw one high school band, but it wasn't any of the central bands.
I think they bounce back and forth
It was
each year.
Yeah, it was one of the other towns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember. El Saline, I think. Maybe?
Really?
I don't know. Anyway, but so that was fun. But
Maybe they bounce between the 4.
Yeah.
Because because I only did it 1 year.
No, I don't know. Anyway, so we did that Saturday as well, and KUK State game. That was a really good game, and yeah, it was a fun game to watch. It was all the way to the end. So I was like, that. But what's really great is KU did really well with the third string quarterback. So I'm like, and he's a true freshman. I'm like, future's looking bright. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. So moving on. So yeah. So what I was bringing that up for is because sometimes you never know. I might see something that I think is cool, and I kind of consider the members my friends, our friends. And so when I see something cool that I want to share with somebody, I'm like, okay, this is for car people. Somebody may not really, like even your mom's like, okay, so what, and I'm like, it's a Maverick.
I do. I'll be driving along and I'll be in the middle of a sentence and I'll stop and go, Maverick. And Label's like, you were saying?
Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say, that's a Maverick in front of us. She goes, how can you tell? I said, for one, the tag's offset. So gotta dig the offset. That's what I say. I think Jolie had left, and we were like trying to, go along. I said, well, there's Jolie right there. And she was like, how do you know? I said, that's a Maverick, and that's a Maverick in front of me.
I was in the car with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We were Halloween. Yeah. We were going to see Grandma and Grandpa.
Anyway, so you never know. I actually, other than the 2, you always guaranteed almost every week a member live on Friday and a lot walk on Saturday/Sunday morning. It depends on how busy I am on Saturday. Usually get those 2 unless I'm off on a Saturday or a Friday. But almost every week you're going to get those. Just something fun we like to do for our members. But you never know. When we do some traveling, we'll do more stuff. And we're going to talk about some of the trip that I got coming up. So anyway, so yeah, there you go. And looks like old Martin did his thing. He's gifting some memberships there. 10 membership he's gifting. So Martin likes to do that. Thank you, Martin. And so those of you that were gifted that, you're going to be able to see the content automatically for the next month.
Yes.
So, and then after that, if you don't sign up, then you'll lose access to that. But you can go back and see any of the member videos and stuff like that and what we do. And I do want to preface this too is membership is all about having fun, and it's people that want to support the channel. And we do send out a member packet. So if you are a member, make sure you send us your address and everything so we can send that out to you. A couple different things that we send out. But also you can, if you're on Fridays, we go through your orders if you have an order with us. And if you're not a member, you still can get updated on your order. Your salesperson can do that. What we do for the members is just a fun way of cheering each other on. And that's why we do it, is just saying, oh, look, like we know, Britt is in here. I saw him in here. It's like, oh, you know what? You're not scheduled yet. And then when that week gets scheduled, it's like, oh, you got scheduled. And oh, look, hey, it's got built. And it's more of an encouraging thing between the members. It's kind of a fun friendship type of thing.
Waiting for his Bronco, and it's been sitting there since before the strike started. And they're like, "Did it move? Did it move?"
And everybody's looking like, I hope Francis's Bronco got picked up on the rail, and so it's more of a camaraderie thing than it is anything else. And so if you have an order with us, but you don't have to be a member to get updated on your order. So your salesperson can keep you updated. A lot of salespeople will keep you updated on a monthly basis. It's just us. It's a spreadsheet. So and we were able to just go in quickly and look it up. We have time. So.
And I will say, for some salesmen, they only like to update when they have news. They don't like to be like, call you just to say, hey, there's no update. How's it going?
Yeah.
They don't like to do
It's
that.
still
They
setting
like,
a map for the 4th week in a row or 5th week. They
Yeah.
don't want to give you bad news. They want to
Yeah.
give you good news. And it's
So a lot
kind of
of
like what Ford does.
right. So
Ford doesn't
they
like to give you the bad news.
they don't like to contact you until they have news.
Yeah.
But if you are one that wants a weekly update, like, hey, how's it going? Did you schedule any this week? What's going on? Let your salesman know. Usually they're accommodating and say, okay, yeah, I get that. I'll put you on my list to update weekly or bi-weekly or however you want.
Yep.
So you just have to be clear with your salesman with what you want and what you're expecting from them.
With that in mind, we like to do is welcome in our members and say hi, because that's the
Yes.
other thing you get as a member is member shout outs on our live stream. So can't get rid of that cough.
It's asthmatic. You can't.
And she refuses to take cough drops.
They don't help.
You should try.
It's not my throat that's twinging. It's my lungs. Completely different parts.
All right. We ready to give a shout out to our members?
Yes.
Maybe new members now.
Well, and I don't have them over here, so I'll go off of them over
Just
here.
tag them as you go. If you have.
Nope, they don't. So on YouTube, I can see was gifted by Martin. Over here
just go
in
here.
StreamYard, it doesn't show it.
But you can see it's green on the thing. So just click on the members as we go through.
Right. But it doesn't.
Shout outs. Just do it.
I know. All right. Martin gifted 10. So we have M. Baker, Trish in Norco, Jeff Mand, Bronco Dude, Pete, Renegade Rat 4166, Current Event Nerd, Ryan Walters, Will Florida, and Debate Lover.
There you go.
All right. And then he also said, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Pretty awesome. Thank you, Martin.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. Who else we got in here for our members?
We have Montauk saying, I didn't get a liner in my F-150, but I'll get a spray-in for the MAV because it's a steel bed. Rust is a real thing on Long Island. Steve P. Hey, from Phoenix, 78 degrees and amazing. We are supposed to get snow on Saturday. It's supposed to dip into the 30s. I was telling Lebo. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's 31. He's like, during the day? Yes, during the day with snow. Then we have Brian Foster. My son and I made the 1,467 miles south to California from McArthur in several minutes shy of 21 hours.
There you go. Yep, they were here last Saturday. Picked up, it was Saturday. Picked up their Maverick and headed back.
Yep.
So
Martin also said that he finally got to take a little road trip. He spent 6 hours driving 350 miles. No fatigue from the trip.
They say those seats are really good, and those, as inexpensive that is. So
we also have Christopher Scholes. I love the updates provided on Friday Cast. Thank you for doing that for us.
Yep.
We have, of course, Ridgeview, who is one of our members. Oh no, Specs. His Maverick was totaled.
Uh-oh.
No. I'm glad she was okay. His wife wasn't driving.
Oh.
I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have Niles, our other moderator, and knows all things aftermarket. So if you have any aftermarket questions, drop in at Niles. And if you have any other questions, at Sarah Davis. Let's see. Who else do we have? Rushman, I haven't seen you in a while. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone from New Jersey. Just got news that my 24 Bronco Sport build pushed back to week of December 4th.
Yeah, they move around a little bit sometimes. I did, I will say.
It is scheduled.
I will say that. So a lot of people are like, yeah, we're seeing all these dates being moved back. Does that mean that there's a problem? No, because I actually went through all of our orders, and there are a lot, and I mean a lot. I'm talking probably 30 of our orders that got moved up at least a week, if not 2 weeks. So there may be some people online that are always saying, hey, the people that are getting moved up from a later week, they're not going to tell you guys because they don't want you guys to feel bad. Only the people that are getting moved back are we hearing about. So it's kind of like the same thing about reviews. Somebody has a bad experience, you're going to hear that. But good experiences, not everybody lists those. So it's kind of the same thing with this. So
Yeah.
there were a lot of orders that as I went through last week, I think it was last Thursday, that they were moved up into early build dates. So that's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
All right.
We have Mike M saying, wow, 100 degrees in August and now snow in November.
Yes.
As
Even
we
in
say,
October, it was like 80,
Yeah.
something like that.
they say you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right. We got any others? Marine Vet checking in. He's having fun off-roading.
Be
Let's
driving through Colorado soon. Talk about that later.
Live streams are a must-see TV from Montauk.
I'm gonna put that in a poll one of these weeks too. Do you watch our live stream on on your TV, on your computer, or on your phone
Or your tablet.
or tablet?
All right. We have Gino saying it's good to be a member. And Francis is here. He was laughing when I was talking about his order. What else we got? We got so many members. We love our members and what they bring to our channel.
Yep. All right. If we didn't mention you, sorry about that. Yeah. Try to shout out everybody. All right. Awesome. So, moving on. You have a good dealer moment for us for this week?
I sure do.
Don't forget about the channels that we like to support. Not necessarily support, but I like to follow as well. Down in the description. So if I still remember them all, All Train Nation, a great live stream last night. It was a lot of fun. Of course, I don't always mention this, but Allie has her own channel too, Allie Dubois. You got to check her channel out too. We also do, of course, Johnny's Car Care Reviews. Actually, was watching his video before this live stream while I was getting ready, because I actually got ready ahead of time. So I was watching his channel. Of course, one of our members, is he even here? Ragnar has a channel, so check his out.
Yet.
We have another one of our members, the Maverick Hunter. Check his channel out. We have Second Nature Overland, the Bronco Nation. Don't forget about them as well.
What is Nate Niles?
Huh?
Nate Niles.
Does he have a channel too?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to put that in the description. Yeah. So.
He's ever since he got his Maverick, he's been making videos.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I didn't realize that. All right, so yeah, I gotta check his channel. But we got those down listed, and there's one in there I'm forgetting. Anyway, yeah, there's several others that I like. Bronco, Maverick related. So cool. All right, ready for good news or a good dealer moment?
Yes, we are. All right, so we have Capital Ford of Charlotte in Charlotte, North Carolina. Worked with Bobby Massey on the order process back in September of 22. Fast updates. Mike Griffiths is on the sales team, got my truck ready and handed off. Alex over at the finance team was efficient and professional. No market adjustments, no upsells, fast and pretty painless delivery.
There you
go. That's Churn, I don't know, Swift? Churn Swift?
Cool.
Not sure. Justin from the Maverick Truck Club. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, she's been getting a lot of those from Maverick Truck Club, but if you have any, you can email them to us and we can highlight them as well. Otherwise, she's going through the Maverick Truck Club, and Brian actually Brian Foster puts together a list of those good dealers and everything. And
there's a single forum thread that I go to that people post them in, and I go through that one.
Yep. All right. So we're ready for scheduling. Not a lot to do on scheduling, but anything else before we get into that?
No.
All right. If you have any questions about scheduling though, or anything, put them in the at Sarah Davis, and at the end of this, we'll highlight those. So, all right, let me get into that. So, here we go. All right. So, First off, I like to start this off for scheduling information and everything by going through the little phrase, the information here, which we won't cover too much of that because this is Thanksgiving week. So not a lot of there's any scheduling happening this week, but we can go over any kind of constraints and such in case you got that week to kind of make some changes and everything. So first looking at this, when we're talking about scheduling, we're talking about scheduling of an order for a production date. I actually posted in the Facebook group that they weren't scheduling. People were like, "What does that mean? Does that mean mine's not getting billed? I have a build date?" And so definitions are always good for people to understand what we're saying when we say different things. And scheduling means that it's when Ford schedules an order for production date in the future months. So we're talking about they got to schedule the order for a production date. And that's all done in the order bank. The order has to be placed in there. So if you go to a dealer, you want to make sure they place that order in the order bank. And if they do, your order is considered a retail order, which is a custom placed order. And dealers, if they don't have any retails, they need to place some stock orders so that they can, if they get allocations, then they can get some stock inventory. So priority codes on orders. Every order is given a priority code. The default is 19 on a retail, 80 on a stock, but those numbers can be changed around. So priorities can be given to orders anywhere from an 03 to 19 or 20 to 80 for a stock. Lower the better. It's kind of like a golf score. So if you have a lower one, it's going to be looked at first for scheduling before one that's a higher priority. So and then we're talking about scheduling for production dates, and those dates are usually in the future. Sometimes they'll schedule a month to 2 months in advance because they got to be in there ahead of time because they can't just go, "What orders are we going to make today?" They need to know that stuff in advance. So those production dates they'll get scheduled to the week, to the day, and that kind of stuff. And sometimes those dates do move around. We've seen that on some orders where they might get scheduled, for 1 week, and then they get moved ahead to another week. To get scheduled, though, for an order, the dealer that you ordered with has to have an allocation to schedule your order. So it's an allocation system. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order that's in the order bank, and a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales volume and the amount of inventory they currently have within their region each month. So you earn allocations on a monthly basis for the next month. So and it goes by sales volume and, like I said, inventory. Constraints, we'll talk about that in here quite often. Those are options or that are in short supply or may take longer to build. Capacity is their planned production rate for given motor trim or option. So they know ahead of time for the year, this is what we can build of this particular trim or this particular motor, on a month-to-month basis. And usually when we talk about the percentages in here, it's percentages for that month that we're talking about that we're in. Now, job 1 and 2, they will split the production run for within a model year into 2 different runs, a job 1 and a job 2. As you can see, 1 would be the first half of the model years. Job 2 will be the second. There's some changes that happen in why we have a job 2. We did see that with the Mustang. The California Special was not available in job 1, was introduced and ready for job 2. And so we did see that in part of job 2 as well. So some changes to Bronco for job 2 as well. And then balance out. That is the end of production. Sometimes we might see some colors that are being discontinued from one model year going to the next that will balance out early before the end of the production. So we'll talk about sometimes, now it's a little early for balance out options, but sometimes we need to cover that as well. There you go. So talk about this week. We do have some of this information. Let me pull this up here because there are some people that decided that they need to this is actual confidential information that Ford doesn't want dealers posting online on social media. I did not post these, but here are some things. We do have a couple that have been posted on the different forums. This first one is on Mustang. Let me click on this. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. There we go. So this one's on Mustang. So this was on the Mustang 7G forum. I think it's Mustang 7G or 6G. Anyway, one of those. And I'm getting off them on my generations of Mustangs. So this was posted on there. As you can see, it does say confidential there. But again, I didn't post this. I did get this off their website. So that kind of gives you an idea of some of the key constraints and such as I go through this. There's currently 1,422 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Now, it's not including stock orders. Keep that in mind. By the way, the order banks are open up to order, including the California special now. So no scheduling this week. No scheduling this week for any model. But here are just some things in case you have an order and you're thinking, hey, there's something that could stop my order next week to getting scheduled. Don't forget dealers with a BTS. I did find out is balanced to schedule. Dark Horse allocation must place an eligible order without the Dark Horse handling package, or the allocation may be lost, and or allocation fulfillment orders may be generated. Sometimes they'll carry those over. Now, what that means is I've had some customers say, well, I have a Dark Horse order in, but I want the handling package. I don't want mine scheduled without it. Well, a dealer has to use that allocation. And so they might have to use a stock one, but then there might be a problem with yours getting scheduled if they start running out, because dealers only get so many allocations on Dark Horse. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Some other things, the 19 by 8.5 inch, I'm going to take this off here for a second. So the 19 by 8.5 premium polished aluminum wheel, dealers should consider removing this option on their orders as soon as possible. Otherwise, their orders will have an extended delay, or might not be selected for scheduling for the remainder of the model year. So that looks like that is they're saying a long-term problem here is that wheel. And I think that's, I can't remember, that's wheel option 642. I'm not sure which trim level that's on off the top of my head. I'm thinking it's premium trim. So anyway, there you go. Moving on, 24 model year is, and then I did want to go back to that. So here's some of the constraints. Really nothing, with only 1,400 orders in there, nothing's really that constrained. I mean, you might see that this is over here, but again, this column here that's the percentage based off of the total unscheduled orders. And keep in mind that they can schedule more than that in 1 month. So you may not be one of the 20, like only 20% of those can get scheduled the first month, but keep in mind, it's not like it's going to take you a long time to get scheduled with that overage. So you got to remember, this is all based off of this number, whereas this is based off the full production. So 50% of the capacity is 50% of them will be GTs in a production month. So keep that in mind. And there's only 26% of the orders. So that means there's going to be some stock GTs probably get scheduled, that kind of thing. Whereas GT Performance Package, that's 20% with 51% of the orders, but that means 700. So we don't know how many, I don't know how many vehicles they can build or Mustangs they can build in a month, but let's say 51% is 700. But as long as, let's say, what would be 720%, 7 times 5, let's say it's 2,500 that they can make in a month, then they could make every GT Performance because their capacity is 20%, if that makes sense. So there you go. So really not too many issues with that one there. So, all right, moving on. 24 model year Escape has currently 390 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. 29% of those are plug-in hybrid. And plug-in hybrid is like, I don't know, it's a very small percentage. It's like just like a couple of 7%, I think, is their capacity on that. So, but only 390 orders shouldn't be a problem there. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year Escape, and they are not scheduled this week, and I don't have any other constraints or anything like that. Moving on, 24 model year Bronco Sport. There's currently only 404 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up right now for all configurations, even the freewheeling, even the black appearance package, and even that black diamond off-road package. In fact, we just received one of those in the terrain recently, or desert sand is what they like to call it in the Bronco Sport. Looks really cool as well. Just got pictured today. No scheduling this week. And so they didn't, Bronco Sport didn't have their capacity listed. So, really with only 404 orders. I mean, some of them might be over the capacity, but again, that's a percentage based on only 404 orders. So 50% of them want the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package, which should not be a problem. So about any configuration, you should get scheduled pretty quickly for the Bronco Sport once they start scheduling. Again, they're not scheduled this week, but next week, you should be good. So, and again, that does depend on your dealer. So if you are, if you have a Bronco Sport order in at your dealer and your dealer doesn't get very many allocations, that could be an issue. Not necessarily that there's a constraint issue, but that it's a allocation issue at your dealer. So that's all. I always got to make sure I forget about that. We get plenty of Bronco Sport allocations, so we don't have a problem getting any of our retail scheduled quickly on Bronco Sport, but some dealers might if they take a lot of Bronco Sport orders. All right. 24 model year Edge is next. Order banks are closed, but just heard that they're going to open that back up for the 2.0 liter engine right now. So you can put in, if you're wanting to put in a retail order, maybe you missed it out on that Edge order, they are opening up the order bank starting today for any of the 2.0 liter engines. So that'd be everything but ST. You can get that. There's currently 656 unscheduled retail orders for the Edge. And again, order banks are open back up for about every trim now. So if you're wanting one, you can. Again, the ST is balanced out, and there's actually 24% of the orders in the order bank are the 2.7 liter engine, which is the ST, and they're not going to schedule. So 21% of those 656 will never get scheduled. And this is the Edge is sunsetting. No scheduling this week. Should be back to normal next week. So, all right. 24 model year Ranger. Actually, I think I have. Do I have one of those? No, I don't. Okay. I don't have that. 24 model year Ranger. There's currently 4,024 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Ranger. Order banks are open up for 24 Ranger at 2.7 liter engine, still not available yet. And there is no scheduling this week, no constraint list really. And scheduling will resume the week or on December 14th. So they will not start scheduling yet. Again, they're working on production and getting that ramped up and everything. So, all right, moving on. 24 model year Bronco. There's currently 8,747 unscheduled orders, and I think that's for 23 model year though, or 23 and 24. The sheet that I have, which I can show you because that was on Bronco 6G forum. Whoever posted it there. So there is that sheet there. And again, this is not showing a year. So some of them will show a year. When we get to Maverick, you can actually see the year. This isn't showing a year. I believe this is for 23 because if you note, Everglades wasn't available for 23, at least the last half, and you're seeing 0. There actually are some Everglades orders in there. So that's why I believe this is 23. Also, you'll notice base isn't available in 24. So that's another cue that this is probably 23 model year information, not 24. So
Tim translating the Ford speak once again.
Yes. So anyway, so this may not be of really much use to us, except for the fact that you can see everything's really within capacity on this. So like for us, we had
RagnarCon says that's 23.
Yeah, I think it's 23. Yeah, I believe that too. So now one of the things that to note is that I don't think that really there's even much of an issue with about anything other than if you want a Raptor, a Heritage Edition, Heritage Limited Edition. Those are the hardest ones to get. Maybe not even Everglades being that hard. I know Everglades is a very low capacity, like 1.5% or something. But like for us, we had last week was specialty scheduling for Everglades, Heritage Edition 4-doors, and Raptors. We had one Raptor schedule. We had all 3 of our Everglades got scheduled, and all of our 4-door Heritage orders, 4-doors, not 2-doors, got scheduled last week. So all of our specialty vehicles, other than the 2-door Heritage, got scheduled. And so that leaves us, we have 10 allocations left next week, and there's not many more than 10 orders that we have. So if you're wanting a Bronco pretty quickly and you're looking for something outside of Heritage Edition or Everglades, you could place your order with us and probably get scheduled pretty quick. So it shouldn't be an issue with most of these capacities. I know that we had that list up there, but about everything is pretty shouldn't take long to get. No scheduling this week, and again, we know the information. Don't forget about the 2-door Heritage Edition, though. You need to make sure you place that 24 order with the exact same order number as your 23 to get the private offer if yours was a canceled VIN. So let's say you got scheduled with a VIN in 23 and they had to cancel your order, then you need to make sure you place that 24 with the exact same order number to get that private offer. Now, if you had a 23 model year Heritage 2-door order that went unscheduled, you get nothing. So, which I hope Ford changes that. But outside of that, moving on. 24 model year Maverick is next. Oh, that one actually doesn't say 24. All right, let me show you this. So we have 20. This here is information for 24. I'm pretty sure. We have currently 38,242 unscheduled orders here, retail orders. And again, we're looking at this here. A lot of people are going, "Whoop, doesn't look like the XL. All the XLs will get scheduled. Looks like only half of them will." Again, 46% of 38,000. If you figure that number, let's even round it up to 50. That means, and I'm going to even round it up to even higher. That's like, say, 20,000 orders, right? Which we know that number is not right. So let's say it's 20,000. When we know capacity, we know what they can make in a year is probably about 120,000. They make about 10 to 13,000 a month. So let's round that down to 10,000. And we know that 23% of that is going to be, or 2,300 of those could be in a month, could be those. So how long will it take? It could take several months, but they'll still get them all scheduled. So again, we got to look at this. This is based on this number. This is based on their overall capacity, which is 13,000 a month. And a little birdie told me that we might see
13,000 or
13,000.
Oh, you're right. Yep. You're right.
13,000 a month is what they made the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So believe that number is right. And so, yeah, you need to keep that in mind. So it only take them about 3 to 4 months to get these scheduled.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So folks, I think we're real close to being able to see the second half of the month be some stock orders.
Yeah.
And so go ahead and put those orders in. In fact, we are taking orders for 24 model year Maverick. So because we have 150 allocations that should take care of all our carryover orders.
Yep.
This month. So anyway, no scheduling this week. Last week they did cancel the scheduling. They were supposed to schedule and they canceled it and said it'll pick back up on the 30th. So anyway, yeah, I know. We're looking forward to that. All right. So next 24 model year Explorer. So they are working on scheduling those. Not this week, of course, no scheduling this week. There's 243 unscheduled retail orders and the order banks are open up for the Explorer. Don't forget, this is a 4-month run for Explorer for this year. 24 model year will launch early in next May. And 24 model year will not be able to get a King Ranch and Timberline. So if you're wanting those, you need to get a 24 order in and not hope that you can get a Timberline or a King Ranch in 25 because you won't. No constraints listed on that. Moving on, 24 model year Expedition. There's currently 1,472 unscheduled orders in the order bank. 44% of those have the Platinum standard wheel, which, as we've mentioned, if you listen, in fact, it's in here for this week as well. Platinum will require the optional 22-inch wheel, which means those customers, those 44% of those, they need almost half of them. So we're talking about 600 orders that need to flip to the optional wheel. So dealers need to pay attention to that. So if you're out there and you have a Platinum order and you have the standard wheel, you didn't add the optional wheel, it will not schedule, folks, unless you switch it to the optional wheel. So you want to make sure you do that. That is option 64P. So you want to go in and do that. Also, limited 302As will require the sandstone trim, which is 89N. And also, please note that the multi-contoured seat are now required on newly submitted 24 model year Expedition. So Platinum stock and retail orders to be eligible for scheduling. So the multi-contoured seat is back. You used to have to take that off to get it scheduled. It is back in production. The supply is back. And so remove that option 88R so that you can get yours scheduled and get your multi-contoured seat, which is awesome. So All right, moving on. 24 model year Mach-E. There's currently, well, we don't know how many orders there are in the order bank for 24 model year. There were like 40 some orders for 23 model year. Don't forget, if you have an unscheduled 23 model year Mach-E order, you need to place a 24. That will not get scheduled. It is done. It's going to sit in there and will never get scheduled. You'll need to place a 24. So Ford doesn't carry any orders over on any model anymore. So you have to, if you go unscheduled one model year, you need to reorder in 24. Dealers, we see this all the time. We have a bunch of stock orders in there. They're not going to get scheduled. We just have to place new orders for 24 model year. Same way with you. Remember, select and premium ordering is available right now. A GT is not, and Rally is not yet either. No scheduling this week, of course. That's that. All right. 24 model year Super Duty. There's currently 27,712 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up to order. I would say this: if you are looking to order a 24 model year Super Duty, really consider going XLT Lariat, one of those trim levels, because it's gonna. We've noticed King Ranch Platinum Limiteds are a very low percentage number. And a lot of the orders that are left over are those configurations. So it's going to take a long time if you can get scheduled in 24 if you order one of those. So if you don't already have that placed, it's probably going to be very difficult. All the same, I don't think I'm going to go over constraints, even though they're in here, because of the same as last week. And since we're not scheduling this week, it really doesn't matter. But there's some things that, to take note there. And yeah, so should be back to scheduling next week. We've actually started receiving 24 model year Super Duties. We've gotten quite a few. Anyway, and we have a dealer news update about XL 6.8 liters in allocation system in just a second. We're going to talk about. Moving on, 24 model year F-150. There's currently 3,962 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up, and I looked. There's really not any constraints on the F-150. One of the things that I noticed with the F-150 is that even your black appearance packages are within capacity easily. So you can even go with your appearance packages and should be okay on the F-150. So something to note, though, on the Raptor is, and that number does not include Raptor, by the way, Raptor 802A and 803A will not be selected for scheduling for the next several weeks. If you want a Raptor, you're going to go with the 801A. Now, 802A, remember, that is your 37. That's your Raptor 37. And 803A is your Raptor R. So I'm not sure. They're not saying what the issue is there, but since it's a 37 and R, it could be the new dual live valve shock. It could be the 37 tires. We don't know. They're not telling us. But it probably has to do something that's available on both of those, but not in the regular Raptor, right? So more than likely, it could be the new dual valve live shocks that's available this year. All right, that's it for that. 24 model year F-150 Lightning. We don't have. They never give us information on these. The order banks are all open up for those. Don't forget, all trim levels are available for ordering. They're not scheduling this week, of course. We mentioned that. So let's see. Other than that, yeah, we actually have specials for these. Of course, discounts on all those. So if you're looking to get an F-150 Lightning, we have allocations available, and we have a pretty good little discount package going on, or a special going on those. 24 model year Transit. Of course, not scheduled this week. There's currently 6,900 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for these as well. And let's see what else. Capacities. Most everything's within its capacity, other than of course, the 3.5 liter, which has been a problem all last year, as well as the 360-degree camera and such as an issue. But otherwise, yeah, just transits take a while to get your scheduled for allocation if you have those. So anyway, I think that's all I have for that for this week. So there we go. Any questions?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm not used to having questions. All right.
One or two.
Okay.
Someone asked if Kentucky is up and running yet.
Yes.
Okay.
They all are at this point. All the plants that were down are back up and running.
When are the first 24 F-150s coming to the dealer lots?
Let's see, when did they start building those? They haven't even start building those yet.
Okay.
So I think December is when they start building F-150. So I think 23 goes. I guess I have to look that up. I can't remember. I actually haven't looked. I used to look that up every week and see what those production like when launch and everything is. But the last I saw was, I think December is when the 24 starts building. So it'll probably be January then.
Yeah. So the next one is when I can get. Christopher Scholes asked, oftentimes you refer to orders being previewed. Does that mean? What does that mean, and how does it relate to orders being scheduled? So orders being previewed means that Ford is looking at them. So on Tuesday, they lock orders for that model that they are looking to schedule. They start looking through them. For the ones that are manually allocated, they look through them, they're previewing, and then the ones that they select on Thursday get scheduled. So preview just means that they're looking at the orders, and a lot of the time we don't necessarily see the ones getting previewed get scheduled. A preview does not mean that you're getting scheduled.
No.
It just means that you're getting looked at.
It's not a guarantee. It means that your order, that if you're being
may
previewed,
meet criteria.
then your order meets the criteria that they're looking for, but it doesn't necessarily mean it can get scheduled because there could be others also meeting that criteria. And so, so we've seen orders. In fact, it happened to my own that were previewing on a Tuesday and then previewed on a Wednesday, but didn't schedule on a Thursday. So that can happen. We actually saw there was a couple orders that last week when they were going to schedule on the Maverick that I saw one order that was previewing Tuesday but didn't preview Wednesday. So it changed to different orders.
Like I think there was like 131 getting previewed Tuesday, then down to 120 Wednesday and back up on Thursday.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. Anything else on scheduling? Again, we'll see. We're going to see in December too. They'll be like this week. They're not scheduling. Anytime the Thursday lands on a holiday or a holiday within that week, a lot of times, then we won't see that scheduling. Like December, we're going to see that they will not schedule for a couple of weeks in December. So
it's like my wife previewed me before she decided she wanted to go out to dinner with me. All right, that is all.
Depends what's on your order.
Yeah, that's all the scheduling related. Now I have Debate Lover and e-gaming. I don't know how to say that first word, but e-gaming. I have both of your questions pulled aside for later during the Q&A because they don't pertain to scheduling.
All right, let's get into dealer news updates. All right, dealer news updates. We got quite a few things actually in here. One of them here is a note on Super Duty retail wholesale allocation formula here is being updated. So Ford needs some XL 6.8 liter orders submitted to them, and so because of that, they're going to do something. So basically, they said based on dealer feedback and an opportunity to maximize production on Super Duty. Ford is making a temporary amendment to the retail wholesale allocation formula for the XL 6.8 liter gas Super Duty pickups. So basically, they're going to be excluded for 90 days towards when they actually show up on the lot. So here's how allocation works for those that haven't watched some of the videos. I've talked about this. So about 40% of the allocation of the formula for getting your allocation number is based on what your stock inventory looks like. So if you have vehicles that come in and they can't sell right away, some stocks, that actually affects you losing allocations or not getting as many as you could get. The other 60% of that formula is based on your sales volume, which is always a good thing. So what they're saying here is that because they need to build more 6.8s because they can at the Ohio plant, I think it's Ohio plant, they want to keep that plant going and producing vehicles. And to do that, they need some XL 6.8 liter orders. And they're saying dealers, if you put those in there, when they come in, because normally those won't sell right away, they take a little time to sell. Sometimes it's when somebody actually needs one for their work or for their job site or whatever, then they'll find one and, oh, you have one in stock. So sometimes they'll sit there for several months before they sell. And so what they're saying is, if you will order them, we'll basically forgive you from them being on your floor plan for the first 3 months and not count against that what's in stock number towards your allocation number. So this is a benefit to dealers taking those orders. So, which is kind of cool on how they're doing that. Now they're saying this is only a temporary shift in the allocation, and it's only for XL 6.8 liters. But anyway, there you go. So that's, I don't always cover everything on some of these dealer news, but I thought, hey, might be curious on that. Another thing to allocation is something I covered several months ago, is that Raptor allocations were going to be based on your hybrid and your battery electric vehicle sales. So again, allocation numbers also work that way. And so what Ford was going to do was the second half of 24, they were going to say that your Raptor allocation, receiving a Raptor allocation, was going to be based on how well you sold the F-150 hybrid, how well you sold the Escape plug-in, how well you sold the Explorer hybrids and such. And that's how that formula that was going to be based on getting allocations for Raptors and such. And so they got a lot of dealer feedback, a lot of negative feedback, I think, to dealers that did not like that. That was not fair, because there's dealers that have been selling a lot of Raptors, us being one of them, on F-150s, and we would not get those because in our market area, the Power Boost does not sell well here in Salina, Kansas. It doesn't sell well in the Midwest. And that wouldn't be benefit. And they weren't including Maverick hybrid, which really would have helped us. So they are delaying that shift in the allocation, and it will continue to be the current allocation system that is already set up method. So that won't change for now. It sounds like maybe it doesn't actually. It says special allocation will be distributed using traditional methods and include market baskets of similar vehicles. So usually what it does, like on the F-150 Raptor, it'll be based on your F-150 sales and Raptor sales. Bronco will be Bronco and Raptor sales for Bronco Raptors. Ranger will be Ranger and your Raptor sales. So that's why we actually do pretty well on Bronco Raptor, is because we sell the F-150 Raptor so well that helps us with allocations. Which is why, like Ranger, we don't sell Ranger well at all, but we'll probably get some Ranger allocations just because we sell so many F-150 Raptors and now Bronco Raptors. So anyway, there you go. There's that. So Ford listens. And here's another situation where they listened. And actually, I don't know if you guys saw the news about Illinois won I think a lawsuit against Ford because of their Model E program. And so because of that, Ford had to change their program a little bit. So this dealer news updates actually goes through that their Model E program is going to be updated and changed a little bit. So dealers, and they had a town hall today, but dealers are going to have different requirements for them on chargers and such. That was one of the big things is that now you're making dealers pay for these chargers that they don't need to help sell vehicles or charge the vehicles come in for service, and that they can still charge with what they have, but you're making them put in these level 2 and level 3 chargers. And so that was a big pushback from dealers. And so because of that, they have changed what they're going to do. So a certified elite dealer was at one point for 24 was going to be required to have 2 level 3 chargers. They are in 26 one more. And they have changed that to 24 needing 2, but in 26 not having to add 1. And then on level 2 chargers, Forders are going to be requiring 5 for 24 model year and another one in 26, or calendar year, I should say. And now they're saying just 3 level 2 chargers in 24 and 0 more required in 26. So you can see they're requiring less of this. And then the NEMA chargers, which are usually your 30, 40, 50 amp chargers, those 24 requiring 11. Now they're saying just 4, and then not requiring any more after that. So that is a big change. And there are some dealers that already ordered their chargers, and they're saying that they can actually send those back, especially if they did it through the Rotunda system or whatever. But those that already installed they're not given any credit back for that. So anyway, oh well. And then for certified dealers, if you're not a certified, those are certified elite. Certified dealers are required. It was the old agreement was 1 level 3 charger in 24 and 0 and 26, and that stayed the same. And then the level 2, they were required to do 5 and 1 more in 26. They've changed that to just 2 and 0 more in 26. And then the NEMA ones was supposed to be 11 and 0. Now it's 3 for 24 and no more in 26. So, and they also, on top of that, the other thing that they changed and edited is that the date that was supposed to all be accomplished by January 1st of 24, they have extended it 6 months. So I know for us, our chargers are here. We're just waiting for the city to okay things, and we can't get them to okay the plans to put ours in.
Well, didn't we reevaluate our plans?
No, I don't think so. We decided to go ahead and do all of them now instead of
Right. But
waiting
I
till
thought
26
the
because
placement of our chargers was reevaluated.
if you know something I don't, not
Well,
that I know of.
What were you talking about with the whole trailer pull up? And
No, we were just saying that when we went to the intensive, there's things that we thought about our chargers and making sure that they had the capabilities for things that people will need when they come to charge.
Okay.
Like having a roof, like being able to, if it's raining, if it's snowing, having a roof so that they can still charge their vehicle, and shade to those so that the chargers don't go out and break down all the time.
Okay.
And things like that.
Okay. I get what you're saying now.
Trash cans at the chargers.
Okay.
When we're closed, is there a bathroom that they can go to? Because that's their rest area.
Right.
They charge, they go to the bathroom, they get something to eat, snacks, maybe put a vending machine outside by the chargers, that kind of stuff. That was just what we talked about. We didn't talk about changing location.
Okay.
So,
all
right. The other thing that they updated and changed was the training. Because they required a lot of in training. In fact, we went to some training, and now they're going to reduce the training cost by 50% that was required before, because they said that was also something they didn't feel like it was that they should have to do. And then the third thing is regarding warranty service and safety recalls for dealers that decided not to participate in the Model E, and whether or not they can service those vehicles. And so as long as they sold those vehicles as a regular EV dealer, the old system was called the next gen EV, then they could service those as long as they have the tools required to service. They shouldn't. And then they said they cannot schedule a service appointment if they do not have the tools to fix whatever repair that they have. Anyway, so interesting, but there you go. Sometimes they have to make some changes. All right. And the next one I have is, speaking of, actually I have several on EV, so let's just keep rolling with the EV thing, and I'll skip this other one to the end. All right. All right. Yeah, actually I got a bunch on Model E stuff. So kind of cool. All right. So the next one is on the clean vehicle credit integration into the e-commerce experience. So for those of you who didn't know, now the government will allow you to take that tax credit instead of waiting till your taxes the next year, being the dealers are able to give you a credit and a discount off of your vehicle at the time of sale. But the dealer has to enroll in it. That is optional. Not all dealers have to do it. We're going through with it on ours, but Ford actually put a memo out of what you have to do and links on to where you get that. You have to enroll in this advanced payment system through the IRS, and also you have to do some things with Ford as well in their program to do that. And again, this is optional. Not all dealers will do it. So if you're expecting that from your dealer, you might want to get a hold of them ahead of time and say, are you going to go through that system, so that if I take delivery of one in 24, I can automatically get the discount now instead of having to wait for my taxes. So yeah, we are going to participate in that. So we're going to get signed up for that to do that. So you'll want to make sure, just something for other people to know and be aware of. Next one is actually on the F-150 Lightning. There is a customer satisfaction program, a transition order. There are some people that didn't get their 23s get scheduled for production. And I know, and so there's a private offer, but only for certain people because the prices didn't go up. Because again, the whole purpose behind the private offer is if a price went up on a model, then they wanted to make that difference and give them an offer so it was the same price as it was when they put that order in. So the only price that increased from 23 to 24 is the XLT 311A standard range. It went from 54,995 to 57,495. So those customers will get a $2,500 private offer, but they have to place that 24 model year Lightning order by December 1st. And it doesn't say in here, but I would probably use the same order number just in case, because that seems to be a theme on the other vehicles. It doesn't say that in here, but I would do it just in case. But there you go. Or they can also get take delivery of a 23 model year stock order at a dealer if they have one. We have some available. And there are some rebates available. So you can go ahead and take a 23. There's $1,500 retail customer cash right now on the XLTs, $7,500 on Lariat and Platinums. And don't forget, you get the tax credit on your taxes after that. So anyway, so there you go. You probably could actually, if you found one at a dealer, you probably could save money. I know that we have ours below MSRP. So anyway, all right. And the last thing on the EV, and then we'll move on, is there is a sale going on right now. So if you have an EV and you haven't bought your home charger, there is a sale going on. You can get 25% off your purchase up to $250 towards a Ford connected charge station or the Ford Charge Station Pro. So we're talking the 48 amp or the 80 amp charger. I did kind of price these out. It is, you do have to put in at checkout the code Give Thanks 25 to receive a maximum of $250. So basically on the 80 amp one, you get $250. On the, I looked it up, the 48 amp, which is what Jeff would have, is it's an $800 charger, so it'll be about $200. So there you go. So that is available, and that is going on for the next 4 days. It expires, it runs through November 27th. So if you haven't bought the charger, save yourself $250. There you go. All right, and last one is on the UAW. Did come up with a contract, and they signed it, and so that's all good and to go for the next several years. And I just there's a quote in here that he actually sent a memo to all the Ford dealers. It said, Ford is America's #1 brand again, and we want to build on that in 2024. We are entering one of our biggest ever new product launch years in the U.S. We need to deliver these new vehicles on time and with top quality. This is critical. I am talking about the new Ranger and Ranger Raptor, the new F-150, the new F-150 Raptor, new Expedition. So, which 24 is not new, but 25 it should be. Mention that. New Explorer, 25, that's what we're talking about. New Lincoln Navigator and the new Lincoln Aviator. And all told, we are refreshing about half of our U.S. volume in 2024. We are also working flat out on our next gen of electric vehicles and software platforms. So like I mentioned last week, we're going to see some major refresh on the Expedition, on the Explorer, on the Maverick, on the Bronco Sport, on the Bronco. Also, we're going to see possibly a reveal of 2 new EVs for 24 model year. This is going to be a 24 calendar year is going to be a big year, I think, for Ford. So there you go. So, and it does say in here, I quote, it's also imperative that we continue to attack cost and waste throughout our operations. The real reality is that this labor agreement added significant cost, and we are going to have to work very hard on productivity and efficiency to become more competitive. So we need to, I mean, the quality is going to be important, because if we keep wasting and putting in parts and wasting that and having to pay for that and have to repay to have it fixed again upon delivery and everything, that is cost that they cannot continue to have. Because now they have labor costs to deal with. So they've got to cut down some of this wasted cost and wasted efforts and labor, and because of quality and such. So that's just something that's inevitable. So the workers deserve the money, they deserve the higher pay, but because of that, they need to make sure that the workers are doing a really good job producing good vehicles and lowering the cost of waste, right? So we have that in about any job, any place. I remember when I worked, I mean, I know this is a long time ago, but when I worked like at I worked at a restaurant, you had to cut down on the things that you had to throw away because you messed it up, and that kind of thing, because that was cost, right? They went out the window. Anyway, so hopefully we get that in check so that they can continue to make things, because we're going to talk later about some stuff about why, maybe why Ford spends money on like their Ford Performance, stuff, and why that needs to continue, because that helps the other vehicles in the Ford lineup. We'll talk about that later. But all right, that's some daily news updates. And I don't have too many recalls, but
All right.
any questions about any of that?
Let's see.
Anything popped up, stirred a conversation while I went on about that?
No, not really.
No. All right. Well, then we'll move on to recalls. All right, moving to recalls. Just a couple here, and I don't think these are new recalls. Well, this first one might be. All right, first one, safety recall 23S26, certain 23 model year Super Duties with the Pro Trailer Hitch Assist. So this is a new recall. 18,508 vehicles are affected by this, and is an imaging processing module reprogramming is what needs to be happened. So the reason for this recall is in some affected vehicles, the default rear view camera image may not be displayed under specific circumstances when using the Pro Trailer Hitch Assist feature. Instead, the hitch or trailer view may be displayed. An incorrect rear view camera image can reduce the driver's view of what is behind the vehicle, increasing the risk of a crash. So there you go. And it does say, mention in here that there's an over there update that they're through a Ford Power Up that's planned for December of 23 that they hope will fix it, it looks like. Letters are going to go out to owners the week of November 27th. So there you go. So yeah, we actually got a chance to use that and see that when we were in New York. That is pretty cool. It basically uses your Pro Trailer backup assist knob to back you up to the hitch. So basically, do you have a trailer already hooked up? No. So that means they know that you're wanting to back up to the hitch, and they use that same dial, which is pretty cool. So, all right. This next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 21N10. And this is an older recall. This is a supplement or an update to that recall for certain 2015 to 2021 model year Mustang convertibles with the door opens to secondary latch position, it says. So this in here, they had a lot of updates to this supplement. They expanded the population of the vehicles, so more vehicles. So now it's 129,691 vehicles were affected by this. So they did add 2015 and through 2017 vehicles. So before it was just 17 through 21. They also updated with some repair information, pickup delivery information as well. Some of those things and some other stuff, mainly stuff that have to do for service there. But for those that didn't know about this one, I'll kind of cover that. So the reason for a one-time repair, a no-cost one-time repair, it says in some affected vehicles, a front door latch may open to the secondary latch position while driving. While the door is in the secondary latch position, the driver will notice wind noise from the door, and a door ajar warning will appear on the instrument cluster. This concern does not result in a fully opened door while driving. The occupant can open the door normally using the door handle. So there you go. So letters went out back in September of 22. It does say they're going to update, and letters will go out the week of November 27th for the ones that were added, because they added 2 model years into that. So they're going to include that. So it's a one-time fix to go in and get that fix. The last one I have here is also an update to recall. And this is a compliance recall 23C24. Again, this is an update. This is for certain 23 model year F53 and F59 strip chassis. So this in here, they updated the parts ordering information and the technical instructions for service. 5,558 orders or vehicles are affected by this. And this is a SDLC modular waterlogged during engine rework. So there you go. So this in here, again, that's for 23 model year. And so not a lot of vehicles here. Letters are going to go out the week of October 30th to affected owners. And these are stripped away vehicles that probably most people probably would have that aren't even watching this. So anyway, so there was. So I won't go through the reason for the recall, but basically it's well, I will. I'll go ahead and read it. Some affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified from the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, controls and displays, and hydraulic and electric brake system. And so affected vehicles have a smart data link connector modular that's what the SDLC stands for, that may have been exposed to moisture, potentially leading to corrosion in the modular connector and wire harness. The resulting corrosion may interfere with the vehicle's controller area network, CAN, communication. As a result, the instrument panel cluster may be inoperative when installed by the vehicle upfitter or another vehicle modifier. An inoperative IPC does not provide safety-related information to the driver and increases the risk of crash. So there you go. That's all I got.
All right.
On that.
No questions on recalls.
Huh?
No questions on the recalls.
Okay. Yeah, none of those were that big of recalls, and a lot of them were updates to recalls. There you go. All right. So what's left? Is it true?
Yeah.
All right. For this week, I had someone that commented on a couple of my videos, and I thought this is a good topic to kind of talk about for Is It True? So their question was on dealer installed options. So when you're ordering a vehicle, some of the options are put on at the factory installed options. Some of them are some things that are available. You order it with your vehicle and it's on the window sticker, and they're called dealer installed option, which means that they ship the part to the dealer and the dealership installs it for you at a set price. So you know what that price is going to be. So that's why it's not an aftermarket ad. So those are dealer installed options. So this person had a question because their dealer said, and then it was in the 24 model year Bronco, that is now, it is a dealer installed option for the hitch. It's no longer a factory hitch install. And I said, that is correct. They are pre-wiring the Bronco now on every Bronco. And so basically the dealer installs the hitch and the wiring harness for the 4-pin and 7-pin wiring. And so it is a set cost of $500. And that's what it is. And they said, my dealership said it's $500 plus the install fee. And I said, no. No. Ford reimburses them back what Ford thinks they deserve for fixing that, whether it's right or not. And usually it does not cover the cost of what labor costs, because every dealer has a different labor cost. That is what they get. They are not to charge the customer anything. He also asked on the tailgate table, which is now a dealer installed option for the Bronco in some configurations. And I said, no, any dealer installed option that shows up on your window sticker with on there with a cost for a dealer installed option, they are not to charge you any more than that. They are done. Ford is saying they already are taking care of the dealer. The dealer should not be charging for any install. The only time that a dealer would charge an install fee is if there's an aftermarket thing they're going to add that is not a factory that's on their window sticker or on their order when they order the vehicle. So we're talking about maybe LED lights or to the Bronco or something like that. So now this does bring up, is that fair to dealers? I know that in some situations, I know some of those things, it costs more than that to put them on, at least at the beginning, until they learn a quicker way of putting them on. Now the hitches are probably close. I mean, the hitch itself, what's it cost? Probably $100. The wiring harness, maybe $100. So you probably talking a couple hundred. So $300. How long does it take to mount it? And if the wiring's already there and they can just plug it in and it's close and they don't have to run the wiring up to the battery, then probably it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But I know on some things, like on the Maverick, those LED bed lights that they had in 22, those were taking like 6 to 8 hours to install, and they were not giving the dealers enough money for that. So, but I know on some of those things, Tony has said they are not getting enough reimbursement for. But We don't have a say in that, and we're seeing more of that now. So Ford is saying, hey, these are things we want to be able to provide, but now we cannot. We want to build the vehicles faster and make it smoother at the factory. So we're going to start having the dealership install those, but we're going to charge our price, which is a benefit to the customer. No problem with that, because the customer's going to pay a lot less that way. But the dealers in some situations kind of lose out, kind of like the next topic or the next thing. One of the things I want to talk about, and it's part of our survey here. So our poll. So let's get to our poll. So on our poll here, it says, what kind of bed liner do you want in your truck? And hopefully everybody's voted on that.
We have 111 votes.
111. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to end that poll so we can see the results. Does it show us the results? There we go. So 73% of you said spray in bed liner is your bed liner of choice. 9% said the bed rug tray liner. Actually, I thought it'd be more. And then 9% said none, and 8% said the drop-in bed liner. And then they said we have less likes than we have votes. So don't forget to like the video. But so that goes to show you right there is that in some situations, people want to add their choice. So how do you feel if, and here Maverick is a great case in point here, where now for 24 model year, you don't have a choice. If you want the luxury package in the XLT Maverick, you get a drop-in bed liner. That's what you get. They're putting those in your vehicle. You get no choice in the matter. That is what you get. It's going to be put in your vehicle at the factory that way. If you have a Lariat luxury package, you get a spray-in bed liner. You get no choice in the matter, because those 9% that said they want none, too bad. You get a spray-in bed liner. So how do you feel about that? I mean, because I know in a lot of cases we're starting to get XLT Lux, all those drop-in liners. We're gonna a winter is coming, and so when those customers are calling Niles saying, Niles, I want a drop-in liner, or I want a spray-in liner. I don't want that drop-in liner. Can you switch it out? Yes, but it's going to cost $500 for us to install a spray-in liner.
Yeah,
and we're not going to be able to get a credit because we can't. Because you can see only 8% of the people want a drop-in liner. We're not going to be able to resell the drop-in liners.
Yeah, basically,
it's not really going to help us by giving you a credit back for it. You need to complain to Ford, but they're not going to do anything either. But those are going to turn into sleds this winter.
Yes.
I got a fun video planned for that, because I'm waiting for one person to switch it to spray-in liner so that I can get 4 pieces, because the drop-in liner is kind of cool in the Maverick, the way it's made, because it's 4 pieces. So it's not one big thing. So we can take one of the pieces and just go sledding.
Yes.
So Niles, when you get one of those, I want one. So
yeah, kind of want some so I can cut out a few.
We're gonna do a video. This is what we're doing with these drop-in liners. Thanks, Ford and the Ford Maverick team, for
make a couple
throwing those on there.
I'm thinking make a couple of like circles out of them, and then take a heat gun, so then you can kind of mold it into like a slightly curved piece, and then it's a sled.
Yeah, I like to try to always play nice with Ford, but
Christmas presents for the boys.
This is a situation where I'm sorry, Ford, but you did a smart thing in 23 model year. You took the liners out of that package. That was smart. And they did it because they said they couldn't make them because they didn't have the people. But now they have the capacity to be able to go full speed at the factory and everything. Just leave the aftermarket to the dealers. They know it best, right? Just leave it, right, Niles? Just leave the aftermarket to the dealers. They know what they're doing. And that gives the customer options, right? What do you want to do? Drop-in liner, spray-in liner? Anyway, that's...
You see the comment? We'll get you a sled, Tim. Let me chase you with the drone.
Yeah, that will be fun. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I will say this. Okay, I've seen a lot of drop-in liners in F-150s and Super Duties, and I'm sorry, and I've seen a lot of trade-ins in my time, 20 years. They look pretty gross. And if you look at the bed underneath those drop-in liners, but I will say this, the Maverick one is better than the others. It is much better.
I will say, John B has a good point here. No offense to people who get the spray-in liner. They look sharp, but the point of the spray-in, I thought, was to refurbish a damaged bed. If you do it at the jump, what's the point? And I get that. I've actually had that mentality
we do
before.
that.
Is I don't want the spray in bed liner because it's just going to get all junked up. So if I'm going to purchase a spray in bed liner, I'm going to let my bed get all junked up, and then I'll bring it in and I'll get it refurbished and add a spray and bed liner if I keep it that long.
No, wish I was on the mic. All right, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I do like the spraying liners, and I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it does protect it. But yes, we do that actually a lot. We'll get trade ins. They're all scratched up, and we'll put the spraying liner.
Yeah,
because that fixes that.
Yeah,
it looks better. Yes. Also, bed covers same way. You know, I mean, like when they have some packages that come with it, like the first edition package came with the soft tonneau cover. Not everybody wants a soft tonneau cover, you know. So I don't know. Anyway, so my soapbox, I'm done with that. But anyway,
yeah.
Ford, watch 25. They'll take it back away. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I see packages coming with some things and saying, okay, well, I don't really want that, but it's part of it. I get that, and the liner is part of the package, but you don't have to. I mean, we see that the Ranger, they did that last, like in 23, where if you got the bed utility package, it came with a drop-in liner. It's like, and then like I think on Super Duty, if you got the sport appearance package or the black appearance package, I think, then you got the spray and bed liner from the factory. And it's like, well, we do see 73%. We'll put a spraying liner in theirs though. So, I mean, you're more likely Ford to put a spraying liner and everything. You're at least gonna make 75% of the people happy. But putting the drop-in liner, you're gonna make about 92% of the people not happy with you.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
anyway, all right, moving on, and then we'll get into the questions for what's in my mind here. All right, so I saw this. This is a post actually just a couple days ago. Ford Performance competed. They had a Bronco Raptor and a F-150 Raptor in the Baja 1000. I thought this is a great time to kind of talk about why does Ford do this? Why do they put so much money behind these Ford Performance teams for these different racing teams like the Baja? We do see that King of the Hammers, right? In providing those, and even in some of the other race vehicles, NASCAR and Formula One, and these different vehicles and such. And why do they do that? And for one, there are, I guess I heard something about one of the manufacturers actually say they actually produce production vehicles just so they can fund their racing team. But I don't think in this case with Ford, it's not necessarily that case. But there's a lot of the technologies that we see in these performance vehicles that come over to the production vehicles. And so they kind of, Ford always had this phrase was win on Sunday, sell on Monday. So you kind of see that, you get people excited to cheer for a manufacturer and say, okay, I'm a Ford vehicle, I want to cheer for Ford, in this. And I will say that I think they won in the Bronco Raptor. So these were stock. They did the stock midsize, which is the Bronco Raptor for the Baja. We talked about this last week, I think. And they said stock, but yet they do allow for some modifications, like they need a roll cage in there.
Yes.
And they also need to allow for lights because they drive at night. And so they have to have LED light upfits. I think they actually did some recalibration of suspension, but not a different suspension, I think. So they did this with the F-150 Raptor R as well, and everything. And I think the Raptor R won the full size category stock, and they both won. And then somebody tricked out their F-150 Raptor R. It made it a 1,000 horsepower Raptor R, and they won in the toy. And I think they got first overall in the toy truck as well. So anyway, so people can take these vehicles and then they can do that. So we see a lot of these things that come over and they test. And by the way, the Raptor R has that new dual live valve shock system in their vehicle. But anyway, I don't know. So I guess the point is that we do see some of the technology that we see. I know somebody, I think I was watching somebody that said there are some technologies that we have in our vehicles now that's in almost every vehicle that originally came from some of those racing vehicles. So like some of your traction controls and some of those systems, they came in pre-collision assist and some things like that. They actually came from the different race cars and such like that. And we see that. So seeing this is good. Not only can we cheer on our favorite brands like Ford and such, but also we see, and they, in a sense, test out this stuff to say, okay, we did see a fault here. We need to fix this in the production vehicles because that was a problem, and such like that. So we can see some upgrade systems. 24 model year does bring us the dual live valve shocks for the Bronco or the F-150 Raptor. So that might have been something when they ran these through the Baja and some other different things that they've realized that the current live valve wasn't good enough. And so then we see that upgrade for production vehicles. So, yeah. So cheer on your favorite Ford Performance teams. And then also gives us, and because of that too, then we see some Ford Performance parts that we can add to our vehicles as well on their website. So anyway, not a big thing that I want to talk about, but I just thought win on Sunday, sell on Monday. So
yeah.
And some people see that, they look at like, hey, I can't afford a GTD, but if I have a Mustang, I feel like I'm part of the team. It's kind of like, yeah. Right. And so they see that sometimes people you'll see Mustang sales go up and such, based on some of the race team and how they do and stuff like that. So, so, all right. Questions?
Yeah. All right.
Questions you
have? Not build date related. So he posted this during the build date. Is over 10,000 miles realistic for hybrid oil change? It's so different from all my previous vehicles.
I know that our interval is 10,000 miles for like your EVs.
Yeah.
But to be honest, isn't it 5,000? I thought it was 5,000 even for hybrids.
The standard has been 5,000, but they're saying with the hybrid, since you do have some battery capability, that you aren't doing as much with your engine as you would with a regular gas
ICE vehicle.
So they're saying about 6 to 7 for hybrid. And then I think for plug-in hybrid, they're saying the 8 to 9. And then for full EV, about 10.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing in forums and other places.
I never did a service on because I never got to 10,000 miles on the Lightning before I traded. But
yeah.
Didn't get the oil change in the Lightning.
Yep. All right. How are I see my dealer has some 1,000 to 2,000 discounts on some 24 Mustangs. Do retail orders could be eligible for those, or just depends on the dealer?
It does depend on the dealer. Like right now, we have our GTs $5,000 off, but we also have to remember that our GTs have a ceramic on there that we've thrown in for that discount, also window tint and such. And we also have used some accounting to write those vehicles down. So on an order, we can't do the same necessarily on one of those. And a lot of times you'll see a vehicle be heavily discounted. It's because they've had it for a while. And if they don't sell it before 120 days, or I think it's 75 days now. If they don't sell it by 75 days, they start actually getting charged by Ford interest for that vehicle. So if they don't sell within a certain time period, it's going to cost them even more money than just losing a little bit now. And so you'll see that on our lot too. You might look at two vehicles and go, they have the same window sticker. Why do you have this in 2,000 less than this one? It's because that one's 100 days old and it has to go because it's costing us more money. So we'd rather cut the losses now and move on. So that's if that hopefully answers that question. But yeah, I had people, I posted that on the Mustang forum that, hey, we have ours $5,000 off, and they said, yeah, but your dark horse isn't over. And I'm like, yeah, our dark horse hasn't been here long enough, and our dark horse is a handling package. So those handling packages are rare. In fact, if you watch we talked about the scheduling information, you can't even get a dark horse with a handling package get scheduled right now at all. So to have one on your lot is a commodity, and that's going to bring more money. But whereas these Mustangs, we've had them for like a couple months now. Yeah. They got to go. So we've thrown in ceramic intent to those vehicles already, and basically part of the discount is getting that for free because and throw it in there at that. And then we also we get some credits from Ford, and so we, instead of the owners just taking that credit, we give it back to our vehicles, and by lowering our vehicle cost. And not all dealers do that. We
Yeah.
do things differently, and that helps us keep rolling our inventory. Again, you turn it, you earn it. So we got to turn the inventory so we can keep earning allocations.
Yep.
So hopefully
Yeah.
that helps out. So in some cases, dealers won't always do that. So anyway.
Yeah. Back to the oil change. Mike M says there's no reason to get your oil changed before 10,000 miles.
Mm.
The only thing with it is that, you know, how regularly have people with hybrids been getting them done at 10,000 miles? We don't know the long-term effects of having it done every 10,000 instead of every 5 like it's usually done. The other fact of it, we're trying to sell a town car right now. I've had multiple buyers asking me for the service history because they want to know that the service has been done at 5,000 miles exactly.
Yeah.
There are some buyers out there that won't purchase a vehicle because the oil change hasn't been done at 5,000 miles because that's the standard. So, I mean, to someone else, that might be a deal breaker. So WB said every 12 months for a hybrid.
Every 12 months?
Yeah.
Wow. What if you drive 20 or 30,000 miles in a month?
Right?
Or I mean, in a year.
So Clarence says his mechanic told him, considering my MAV will probably be my last car and my mileage is low and mostly township roads of 1 mile and stop, another mile and stop, he said to change oil at 3,000.
I still think a date of saying, okay, if you don't put the miles on this much, it's still a good idea to go ahead and get it done.
Yes.
Like me, like on the Bronco, I'm not driving the 5,000 miles every 6 months, but I should still get the oil change every 6 months or so.
Right. So it's like 5 months, 5,000 miles. Whichever one you hit first, go with it. For us, we have a town car, like I said. We also have an 01 Lightning. We drive those once a month. We don't even put 1,000 miles on them each year. So at that point, we do every 12 months. We make sure it gets a good oil change once a year to make sure that everything gets changed out and we're good.
There you go. Mike M said, and that might be the case. Dealers want you to get oil changes more often for extra money.
Yeah.
To be honest, dealers don't make a lot of money on oil changes.
No, they don't.
They're not. They're really to get you in to do the oil change and hope that you need an air filter or something else.
I saw a thread today, Maverick Truck Club, $200 for an oil change.
Oh, my word.
In Florida.
I guess it has gotten up there for a little bit here.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, ours isn't quite that high, but some of them are trying to charge $200. Now, that is gouging.
I just go off of my label that the dealer says because I trust him here, but your owner's manual should tell you what your interval is. And go by that. Oh, Ragnacon isn't here, so that's good because there's a question there that I think he can answer that I can't. Yeah. I think I know the answer, but I don't know. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Why is there a job 2 on Super Duty, and what did they change for job 2?
I don't know. A lot of times they don't always. Sometimes they'll tell us some significant change, but sometimes they don't tell us if there's something changed in there. And I'm really actually surprised they're already doing a job 2. It's awful early for the model year to do a job 2 already, but I didn't see that was a change. It was something last couple of weeks we talked about. I don't know. I'll try to look at the order guide this week and see if there's something for next week. But a lot of times they won't tell us. Sometimes they'll tell us job 2 updates. Like Mustang was real easy. Brought out the California special and such. But you just don't always know. So sometimes I make the changes before a job 2. They just, hey, we need to make this change. And they did that on the Bronco recently before they started making them. It was real easy for them to do that. But sometimes it's just, it's just hard to tell. Yeah.
What amount of Bronco Everglades orders outstanding for 2024?
Okay, so, all right. So for one, the Everglades, they haven't even started making any yet. Last week was the very first week of scheduling any 24 Broncos. So they just started scheduling them. So and Everglades did schedule last week. So we don't, like I said, we don't have that information of how many are still outstanding. But like I said, they just started. So,
All right.
yeah. Same way with heritage editions and stuff. So,
Considering that the King Ranch and Platinum Super Duties are low percentage number, what is the best time of year to order one?
you want to click on that, put it up on the screen.
I just unstarred it.
Oh. Okay. So, what was that question again?
Platinum and Lariat, since they or the higher trim levels, Platinum and
Yep.
What's the best time of year to order those? Since they
Get that order in right away because, like I said, their capacity is very small. Not that many can be built in a year. And right now, a lot of dealers, especially during COVID, were waiting, or a lot of customers were waiting to get those. And so they didn't get there. So now there's like a pent up ordering of people wanting these and to replace their trucks with their newer ones. And so, yeah, you got to get that in right away. And then hope your dealer doesn't have that many of those orders, or find a dealer that doesn't have that many. But
with my Mav sitting in Detroit rail yard for so long, it's been sitting there for a month. Who's to blame? Dealership, shipping company, or Ford?
Shipping company.
They haven't put you on the
once they build the vehicle and then they release it to the shipper, and then the shipper is supposed to ship it out. So at that point, they are expecting the shipper to do what they need to do, and so somehow it got lost in the shipping yard or whatever. In fact, there's a lot of times that Ford what Ford will do is sometimes if we have one that's there, we can go to the head of our region and say, this one's been sitting over here. We had one for the owner of the dealership. He always likes to drive F-150 King Ranches, and his personal one, it took a year for his to come in, and it sat in Kansas City for like 6 months.
Yes.
There wasn't anything even the head of the region could do to push it through. There are all these vehicles are kind of setting up there, and I've seen vehicles that show up there. We have some 23 Mavericks. We've have 24 2024. That's kind of funny. We have 24 2024 Mavericks that have shown up to the dealership. We still have 4 sitting in Kansas City that have been 23s that have been passed over. So they're coming in, the 24s are coming in and then getting shipped right out. Whereas these 23s came in and somehow got stuck somewhere, and they're kind of probably buried.
They were so excited for 24. They were like, oh, forget about those 23s. Let's get the 24s.
Yeah. So we have 4. No, was it 4? Yeah, I think 4. We had 5, and now 1 came in this week with some 24s, but we still have 4 that are there. 1 actually says it has damage. Yeah.
Oh,
weird. We actually had some come in with damage, but these actually saying they're at the damage center, so maybe they're fixing it before they ship it out. I don't know. But anyway, there you go.
All right. Is the Raptor lineup built at a separate plant?
No. No, they only, so many will come through as Raptors. So whether it be, and I think that's Ranger Raptor, I'm assuming.
He has our Raptor.
They'll put them through, just like Mavericks trimmers at the Maverick plant. So many, every so often, a trimmer will go across the line. Same way on the Raptors. I believe they come through the same. I know on the Ranger Raptor, they're all made on the same line. F-150, I believe, is 2, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
How much a lease can be modified without being out of lease contract? Like, can I add graphics or different wheels? You probably mean after the fact.
No, you can add them later, all you want to, but if it's on there when you buy the vehicle, only certain things can be residualized on the lease. So it can affect your lease amount and payment and everything. So, like usually like wheels, graphics, I don't know about graphics, but usually wheels could be residualized. Bed covers, usually things that show a value to the vehicle, like upgraded wheels on can be shown there. I know that bed liners, bed covers, those things can be residualized on a lease. Just depends on if it's things like that. So that can be shown as a value added to the vehicle when you're booking it out. Then it can be residualized, but otherwise it may not. Sometimes we can residualize a Roush package. At least we can, some packages, like if it's Roush or whatever, we can show it not on a lease necessarily, but we know that when we're trying to get a lender to pick up a vehicle, we know it's like, $15,000 more because it's got this package on it. As long as it's not one of our packages, they can find it and do it. So
So when you say residualize,
Yes, there's a residual amount that's given to that vehicle, and that's what your payment's based off of. Because so you're not on a lease, you're not your payment isn't based on the entire value of the vehicle. It's based on how much you use the vehicle. So if you have a 3-year lease, you're going to use it for 3 years. They figure out what the residual amount would be at the end of those 3 years, and then you take that, subtract it from your price you're paying, and they're going to figure your lease payments on that value alone, knowing that you're going to hand it in at the end of those 3 years.
Mhm.
And so that's a residual value is what it is at the end of 3 years.
All
So
right.
they can add that the value when you buy it as well as when you trade it in on wheels and certain things that they can residualize those wheels means they can be put on there.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I just know sitting here hearing you say residualize, that
You
word.
didn't know it, and so maybe
So maybe they don't.
dealers sometimes we have terms that we know.
Well, but I
like
knew everything.
appraisal and stuff like that.
I knew what you were talking about. I just had never heard the term residualize to be used for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been working here off and on for 11 years. So if I don't know it, other people may not know it.
Yep.
So I voiced my question. The Heritage Bronco says front bash plate. Which plates are missing compared to full body?
So this is where I was. Ragnar probably can answer this better than I can. But so the front bash plate. So see, on my Big Ben, it got a bash plate, but it wasn't a steel bash plate. It was a plastic bash plate. So usually that front one will be upgraded to a steel bash plate. All Broncos will get a bash plate on the front. Now underbody ones like your Badlands and I think even Black Diamond, they get more underbody protection. Usually they go over the fuel tank, I think, and your differential and some things like that, but they don't, it's not like a full plate covers underneath like it does like maybe on a EV. But like, that was the benefit of mine. I got like 4 pieces under there on my ARB. So anyway, but maybe Regular Con can answer the question on, more on how many plates are under there. But on the Bronco Heritage or the Heritage Bronco, I think, only Badlands and the Raptor and such got full underbody protection on them, I believe. So I think it just gets a front bash plate. And I think it's plastic, to be honest. I don't think it's a steel one.
Yeah. So he was asking, it's shipped to a Raptor shop after mostly built question mark. And he says, I remember looking at order status as a Raptor shop, but that must have meant truck plant. So they build the Raptor vehicle and add most of the things to it there. But like with Maverick, they send it to the body shop to get spray and bed liner and other things added on.
So you remember when we were at the Chicago plant?
Yes.
So when we were there, they make they build all your hybrids. We went to the hybrid plant. So Explorer. They make the hybrids, they make the police cars, stuff like that. They have a mod shop behind there. Mm-hmm. All the timber lines go there. So Raptor's probably the same way. It probably goes to a mod center. So like the bash plates and some of those other things, the bumpers, some of that. So, but the main part of the vehicle gets built on the same line, and then it has to go to a Raptor shop to add some of the other.
Because they do the police cruisers and everything for a police cruiser. It's built like a regular Explorer, but then for a police cruiser, there's a lot of add-ons. So they send it over to that shop, and it gets all the outfitting for that cruiser. Mm-hmm. And then gets put back over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
those lights on the.
It's not necessarily a different location. It might just be another building on site or something similar where they just outfit the other parts that they may not want to put on the assembly line with all the rest.
Like they make just the hybrids, but the other Chicago plant makes the gas versions of the police cars. They still have the mod shop happens to be on site of the hybrid building which we got a chance to see, but not all plants probably in the same way.
Right. I think Hermosillo, I've heard in the forum from people that are looking it up and looking on the map, like the real life. Yeah. They're like, oh, I think this is where the body shop's at and it's on site, which probably they were like, well, if it's on site, then there's less distance to travel and all this other stuff. So,
yep.
All right. Ranger Bronco has updated order guide. Bummed Heritage not getting washout floors, but Big Ben does.
Anything that has vinyl seats, it's got washout floors, I believe. If I saw that change. So also gets the MOLLE system on the back of those seats if it has the vinyl. So vinyl seats, washout floors, the MOLLE on the back. Heritage is a cloth seat. The only cloth seat that they make is a Heritage edition, so it's going to have the carpet flooring. No MOLLE system on the back.
Yeah.
If I remember right. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
All right.
I'm going to have to look at that. It's been a while since I even looked at the order guide.
Honestly,
I learned this stuff and I retain it for so long, but I am over 50 years old here. So
honestly, with how modular the Bronco is and how you can outfit it, I'd be okay with a Big Bend with washout floors. So then I can just wash it out when I'm done.
Now,
and then outfit it with everything I need.
Okay, so actually RagmanCon did a really cool video on that. The Big Ben for the manual transmission anyway, the Big Ben is the trim for if you're wanting a manual. But I will say this, when I first looked at the 21, I didn't think that I would like the vinyl floors because I've seen an F-150 with the vinyl floors. So I did not want the vinyl floors and I did not want vinyl seats. And that was one of the things why I didn't go to the Black Diamond, because I actually wanted the Black Diamond. And there were two reasons I didn't go there: was the vinyl seats and the washout floor. Well, and the other was I couldn't get the LED light or the signature light. I like the look of the Black Diamond, but now that I've actually, after that, I saw those come in, I'm like, actually, I like the washout floor and the vinyl seats. Yeah. So now I'm a totally different. Like if I ordered now, I'd go Badlands. Now, if I went, I'd probably order Badlands mid-package. Yeah, but other than that, I'm okay with the washout flooring now.
So do you know what I'm thinking of? Not only for off-roading, dirt, dust, things, mud, kids.
Yeah.
Kids throw something on the floor, just splash it out.
I'm telling you that
the sucker gets thrown on the floor. It's not getting stuck in the carpet. No, it's
Colorado, man. I'm telling you, there was a lot of dust inside that Bronco.
And Levo cleaned it up for you.
Yes. Shortly after we got it, I'm like, okay, you need to wash that before my wife sees it. Anyway, we're going to see that. So we didn't talk about that earlier. I want to talk about that though.
Yeah.
We're going to Moab, and that's going to be a fun trip. So I'm sorry. I know you're jealous.
No, you're good.
I know you're jealous of that. But
yes, I am.
But I owe your mom a trip because she didn't get to go to Colorado and you did. So,
But I didn't get to go to Tennessee or Wisconsin.
Well, you just have to buy yourself a Bronco and come along.
I don't have the budget for that. Don't got the budget.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. More questions. Let's get to
the
questions. But yes, Big Ben. I do think now that they've changed the Big Ben, and I kind of mentioned that on RagmanCon's video, because the Black Diamond is now becoming like almost meaningless unless you like the look of the Black Diamond. Because I do like the grill, I like the rock rails and some things about the Black Diamond. Now Black Diamond comes standard with the rear locker, but you can add that to Big Ben as optional equipment. So it's like you get washout floors, you get the vinyl seats. It's like, what's the purpose of the Black Diamond, though?
Yeah.
And what's really funny is the Big Ben, if you go mid-package with the manual, you can still get you can get mid-package with the manual on the Big Ben, but you cannot get the mid-package with the manual on the Black Diamond. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so why don't you just do what you do in the Bronco Sport and just make the Black Diamond a package on the Big Ben then?
Yeah.
Like they did.
Mm-hmm.
And give it the grill, give it the rock rails, and give it the skid plates underneath or whatever, give it the modular front, a different bumper, and just call it a package and say, hey, you just want a different look. It's going to have all the same equipment. It's just going to look different. I don't know. Anyway.
I'm on the same thought with you, Social High. I like the Heritage. I love the look of it, and it's capable. I absolutely love the Heritage, but it doesn't come with the washout interior.
Yeah,
that's really what I want, because my son really likes suckers, but he has a habit when he's in the car to throw them down. I've had to pull them out of carpet. It's not fun.
By the way, he went through 3 suckers on Sunday. He kept finding him. Like, what? You got another sucker?
Yes. He has a nose for him.
I'm like, they're so quiet.
He doesn't
stop
finding them.
All right. So is this the next question here? When is Ford having
Yes.
fire residual incentives deals on mach-e?
Right
They
now.
just had really good lease deals not that long ago. They had some pretty awesome lease deals. In fact, Jeff took advantage of that.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the 23s right now.
Yes. So there might be some decent deals right now on the 23s.
Yeah. So I did want to highlight this person that has joined us. He is from Kuwait, which is in the Middle East.
Yes. Wow.
Thank you for
joining us. What time is it
us.
there is what I'm wondering.
What time is it? Ordered his Maverick 2 months ago. Let's see. Okay, that was all my questions.
All right.
Had some
you are the order guy. You are the order guy. Before update did not say anything about the floors. I think so. Big Ben is the standard trim now, and I think it says washout floors and everything.
Okay, so Mike M looked up because someone said WB just said for oil changes, just go with what the factory suggests for your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, then you're following factory warranty.
Yep.
Mike M says Ford factory oil change for the Maverick interval is 10,000 miles or 12 months.
Oh.
So there we go. We solved
12
it.
months. Wow. I kind of like that interval. I'm bad about getting mine done. And I work at a dealer. Anyway.
We have seen Azure Gray, and do we still have it?
The Maverick?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sold one. Yeah.
Right, but it's still here?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So is the terrain.
Yes.
They were actually almost side by side out there. We got a train with the black
Short
appearance
will be
package.
incoming. Short will be incoming, I promise.
You better hurry.
Tomorrow.
What's this in here? I'm just moving around. When is Ford switching all? I think that's EVs. Next year, 25 mile a year. And I got a suspicion that the Mustang Mach-E might change names. Anyway, that's what I'm hearing.
All right.
I got a chance to sit with some special people at Ford.
Moab,
yes. So I'm going to Bronco Off Rodeo, Moab. Signed up. Now, I originally wanted to go to New Hampshire, but I have a 21 Bronco. I haven't used my off rodeo. I was like, okay, I need to use it. And then I'm like, okay, I just thought that I just had to schedule it by the end of the year. Nope, I had to use it by the end of the year. And New Hampshire was pretty much closed. All the dates were already closed off. And I'm like, okay, so I can't go to New Hampshire. I've been to the Texas one and the Nevada. So I'm like, Melissa Clark, we spent some time with her and her husband, Brian.
You might recognize the name from Rebel. Rebel yes, Talking.
Melissa Clark is the 4-time Rebel champion in the Bronco sport. She is one of the trail guides at the Bronco Off-Roading Moab, along with her husband, Brian. And so I said, hey, what weeks are you going to be there? Do you think is there a way I can be in your group? And they said, if you sign up ahead of time, then we can probably work it out to where you can be your leader. And so they hadn't gotten their schedule yet for dates in December. So I'm like, well, we're thinking December 9th. And so it was far enough in advance that we were able to get in their group. So, which is really awesome. So, yeah, but they reached out to me and they says, hey, what's your schedule look like and everything? And I'm like, well, we don't know. And they asked what vehicle we're bringing. I said, well, either the Maverick trimmer or the Bronco and everything. So, they said, well, we don't work Sunday. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, so what I need to do is take off Monday so we can do some off-roading on Sunday. So it looks like we're gonna go off-roading with Brian and Melissa, and we're gonna take the Bronco. They says it doesn't matter to them because they actually have the Bronco Sport still from Ford.
They're doing something with the Bronco Sports on Thursday, so that's why they're still out there.
I know what's going on. I need to find out what's going on. See if I can. I always like to get the juicy inside. I can't. Anyway, they're doing something with Bronco Nation Thursday, Friday, and I got to find out what and get down there. Anyway, we are going to head up Thursday night, head part way. Might even get further Thursday night. I'm not going to do one of these all overnight trips again, but anyway. But so Sunday we're gonna go out. But I decided, you know what? I want to take the Bronco because I have that new suspension on it. I
Hasn't
want to,
tried it out
yes, I
yet.
want to try it out and test it out. Even though I haven't taken them, they basically said if we take the Maverick Tremor, that's pretty much a Bronco Sport.
Yes.
So if you bring that, we'll take the Bronco Sport and we'll go out and take you on some Bronco Sport trails. But if you bring the Bronco, we'll go on some Bronco ones. So I told your mom, I told her today, I said, we're going to take the Bronco. And she goes, okay. Because I originally was going to take the Maverick and everything. And I said, we got some easy trails. We can do that with the Maverick and everything. And I said, no, I'm going to take the Bronco. She goes, you sure? I said, we'll have some, I want to hit some of the memorable trails at Moab. And the Bronco won't get in the way because it's got the lift. It's got the capabilities. That's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. So we might even stay at the Hotel Maverick in Grand Junction on the way back. So we'll see. Anyway, so be kind of full. But yeah, so looking forward to that. So maybe if you're in the Moab area on the 10th, is it the 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be in the Moab area on the 10th, maybe you want to join us.
So
email me and we'll see if we can. I'm sure they wouldn't mind taking a couple extra vehicles.
How about I drive the Maverick up?
And we do Bronco Sport Trail. That won't be fun for the Bronco.
No, but I can ride along in your Bronco.
No, it's your mom and I trip. So all right. Anyway, and so I'm gonna record some stuff at Bronco Off Radio as well inside of going through some of the here's the things when you're off roading. Here's some of the things, and we're gonna videotape that as well as, of course, we go off roading on Sunday. So anyway, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. So yeah, if you want to go, you're gonna be in the Moab area on the 10th. I might get myself in trouble with Brian and Melissa. They'd be like, they're nice people. So they'd be like, oh, yeah, let's take a group. I mean, they'd be fine with that. I'm sure. As long as there's not too many people. So we might have to keep it to a minimum. But if you think you're going to be in the area, you want to join us.
Well, Brian and
Marine vet.
Yeah,
he's in Colorado.
He's in Colorado. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to him about Rebel today. So.
Yes. We got some people that are
got some news
going good night here. So I don't know if it's too late to say good night. Mike M, thanks for joining us. Who else? I think Terry. Thank you for joining us. So anyway.
I was left.
Yep. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. All right. It's getting late. It's 9 o'clock here. If you're on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. So it's getting pretty late for you too.
Yeah. I feel like this was a short night. We usually in about 9:30.
I don't know what this is about, but learn more from Tim than my Ford training before I changed profession, became a high school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of funny because I originally wanted to be a high school teacher.
That is funny. He says he's been watching for 2 or 3 years now, but this is his first time in live.
Oh, awesome.
I think I've seen your comments before. I recognize your username.
Yep. And there are people that don't get a chance to watch it live, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is great. But, all right. I'm like that some nights. I miss a lot. Let's see. I like to watch All Train Nation if I can, but
my schedule with the kids is just too crazy. I can't I've tried to hop on Johnny's and All Train Nation and Bronco Nation. I just can't get in there. What were you going to teach?
2 weeks ago, I was in Atlanta and we had a Ford event that night. And then actually I was getting ready for the Tuesday night's live stream because I knew I wouldn't be able to during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week, we got this watching something else on TV. Before we started. Anyway, and I was doing some work stuff. But.
All right. What were you going to teach? Math, right?
Me? Yeah, math.
He was going to teach math.
All right, Francis. Coming in here. Let's see who else. Nope. Oh. It moved on me. Keeps moving. Stop. Good night, Tim, Sarah, and everyone. Salty Jim. So, everybody's leaving. It's time.
Yep. My brain is much like his. I love math.
All right.
That's good.
By the way, so something else that might happen in the near future. I'm going to start doing more videos on the Ford Video Guy channel. So make sure you're subscribed to that channel. Something went down the wrong pipe. So I'm gonna do a walk around on the Maverick for that channel. I do a lot of Bronco stuff and a lot of things I do to the Bronco, but we're gonna do some other stuff to that and some other. Of course, I do the trail rides and everything else. But I got a cover coming for the Maverick, so I want to do a walk around on what I've done so far to the Maverick, and also getting some different graphics which I haven't done yet. That I'll do. Then I'll cover that in that video, as well as we're going to do an install on that bed on the cover, and then the lawn McArthur will show the cover off, but I'm going to do an install video on it and do it first on that channel. You want to make sure, and then we're going to maybe get an upgraded suspension. I don't know if I told you this. So they found out that RTR does a lift for
the Bronco Sport.
But
they said it would only take half an inch up.
So, oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Still, you might need a little more clearance.
It's a 2.5 inch lift, and you have a 2-inch lift already.
No. We're talking about the Bronco Sport.
Yeah.
Not my Bronco has a 2-inch lift.
Right.
Not the Bronco Sport.
Right, but but you're saying that the Bronco Sport can go on the Maverick, right?
The Broncos, their suspension lift, spacer lift, can go on the advanced 4-wheel drive. See, most manufacturers or like aftermarket ones will not mess with the advanced 4-wheel drive system from the Bronco Sport Badlands or the Tremor. But RTR has one that does.
Right. But they said it's a 2.5 inch lift, and your Maverick has a 2-inch lift.
I don't know about that.
Pretty sure it's only a 2.5 inch.
The RTR one isn't even 2 inches.
Okay.
Theirs is just like a level kit, meaning more than anything.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I don't know. We
have
got
to
a Bronco
do some more
Sport.
research.
Bronco Sport that just got it put on. So we have a Bronco Sport Badlands. My point was that got an RTR package, including the spacer lift. So I have to get underneath it, take a look at it, put it side by side with a regular Bronco Badlands.
Okay. I thought you were saying
Badlands.
Might put it on my Maverick. My brain skipped over a couple of words.
I will because it can be put my point is it can be put on a Bronco Sport Badlands.
Okay.
It could be put on the Tremor
Maverick. Right.
So I might be doing that. We'll see. I kind of like the wheels of the Tremor, but it'd be really cool to say I got the only RTR Maverick. Because if I get the RTR wheels, the Nitto tires, and the spacer lift, then I have everything other than the graphics.
Yeah.
As part of that package. I need money. I need more money. I need more Ford Pass points. That's what I need. More Ford Pass points.
But if you want the RTR suspension, even if it doesn't lift you up past the Tremor lift, you would still want to do it.
No, I'd need it to have a lift.
Right.
We're going to check out the Bronco Sport Badlands.
Right.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. We're doing it tomorrow.
We might be doing it short. We're going to pull those side by side because it's done. It got pictured today. So
because I'm having a feeling that we talked to Josh about it, and he said, the Maverick has a 2-inch lift to it from a regular Maverick.
No.
Maverick Tremor.
I don't think we talked about it that way. I think you're getting mixed up with something.
No, I think I'm correct. So
I think you're getting it there. No, I think on the Maverick it's only like an inch up clearance, but the bumper gives you extra angle, approach angle because of the bumper the way it is. So anyway,
we'll see.
But that's my take on it. But anyway, all right. Other than that, I think that's it.
All right.
So we might be doing some things to the Maverick, and we'll be doing some videos on that channel.
Yep.
Bucko says correct, Tim. Where's the video on Tim's Maverick? I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Doesn't have it yet.
No. But if you're a member, I usually will show the Maverick. But yes, I do have a video on Law McArthur on the package, the Ford Video Guy Maverick package, though. They can be put on any Maverick. So you can see that video on our YouTube channel under the Maverick. So So Ridgeview agrees with you.
Okay, so the Maverick trimmer only has a 1-inch lift. So if the Bronco Sport RTR package can go more than 1 inch, then yes, you'll have a higher suspension lift.
Okay, so it's already gonna have that inch. Theirs is a spacer lift, so it's a thing that goes in there that gives it more of a lift. So you're just gonna take the 1 inch and increase it from there.
Okay.
So it's not gonna take away from that 1 inch. It's gonna add to it.
Okay.
Right. We're gonna go get.
We're gonna do some research tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have a bunch of Bronco Sport Badlands without the RTR, and we have one eruption green with it. And in fact, we might even get the other eruption green Badlands just for fun.
Yes.
We have 2 eruption greens. One's that's an
I want
RTR,
to see them side by side. There will be some research. There will be some videos tomorrow. We are gonna have fun.
R&D tomorrow. Anyway,
sometimes we need
if
this.
it works, I don't know. And then I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to be able to put the you get the. I kind of like the trimmer wheels, but to do an RTR wheel, the Nitto tires lift, and basically the only thing missing from the RTR, like an RTR Bronco Sport, is the graphics. It's the only other thing missing. So even though RTR does not make a Maverick package yet, they said, well, we're working on it. And I'm like, I says, well, can I get this stuff? And he goes, anything works on a Bronco Sport works on a Maverick. And I'm like, so I could add these things. What about a graphics? And they says, we can't make you graphics. So that's the big thing on a lot of these vendors is that, like, I know Jeff's looking at mach-e stuff. He goes, oh, I want the graphics, or I want these other things. And I said, well, you can't get the graphics from RTR without getting the whole package. And he goes, I want the whole package. I want the graphics. And I'm like, yeah. And you know, they have a certain cost they have there, and they like to charge for their name. So basically the graphics is $2,000.
Yeah.
Basically is the point of it. So, but I would have pretty much an RTR Maverick, and I could actually promote that. I'm looking for video content.
Some suggestions for RTR. Like, here, this is what I've done. This is something that you could do.
We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
don't know what that costs. I'll have to find out the cost of the tires, the wheels. They'll give me anybody want some Tremor Maverick wheels for their Maverick? Hey, look really good on an XLT. Those carbonized gray wheels, little orange accent. You got orange inside. I'm just saying. And they get Wild Peak tires as well. So if you really, an FX4 XLT, right?
VTech says he'll buy them. Will that work with your slammed?
I'm really seeing I'm seeing a package here. You know how we repurpose the trimmer wheels when we do the trimmer 37? So we repurpose those and make the off-road package. Yeah. I'm seeing a Maverick package here with a trimmer, tire, and wheel. Just saying.
Yeah. Hey, they will work on your Bronco Sport.
Yep, they'll work on a Bronco Sport.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. So we can put down a Bronco Sport too. We just flip.
Yeah. VTech said he'll buy them for track tires.
Ooh, he wants the tires. Wild Peak. See, that's okay. So should we talk about my other pet peeve that I don't like?
Yes.
The Bronco Sport Black Diamond package, off-road package. Agnicon, you still in here? Yeah, he's still in here. Okay. All right, because I think you'll like this. So, and if you've seen my member lot walk, you know my rant here. That where I'm going here. So this package is an off-road package. You're supposed to be put on a Big Bend or an Outer Banks for the Bronco Sport. So you get skid plates underneath, underbody protection. You get these off-road wheels that you see on the Badlands. The optional wheel for the Badlands looks really cool. But then they put these cheap all-terrain tires on it. I'm like, what are you doing? They have no traction. Put a Wild Peak on there. Charge $200 more. And now you got a setup. And I'm just like, that is so. I mean, Ford, come on. I mean,
welcome to Lon McArthur Live After Hours, where we rant about things and argue about who is correct.
I'm like, come on. So Ford's got a couple things that they need to fix, but there you go. So have we sold any Ford? No, nobody wants it. You know what I figured out though? There's no link to that package on the main Ford, the Lon McArthur Performance page. I'm like, it's because it's my job to monitor that page and to make I have a Ford Video Guy package. I have a Ford Video Guy package, but it's if you look on the Ford, the McArthur Performance, it has all these different builds for different ones. And then you look at Maverick, and I don't have the lowered one on there or that one.
You need to get them on there.
I'm like, what am I thinking? Anyway, so no, we haven't sold any. But nobody knows about it really. Anyway, so there you go. Maybe we can make our own RTR package, non-graphics RTR. Well, I'll leave that on the trimmer. So yeah, just a trimmer on the side. I'm gonna do the big trimmer graphics. I don't need it. Just I got an RTR Maverick. I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna cost more money. I just got suspension on the Bronco. I still gotta pay that credit card off.
Save that for a year.
Ford Pass points should work on it.
Save that
How many points
modification for 1 year anniversary of having the Maverick.
It's probably more than likely that would cost about a couple grand, $2,500. So I'm gonna how many Ford Pass points do I need for $2,500?
My gosh.
Somebody do that.
So, but if you think about it, you didn't start really modding out your Bronco until after you'd had it for about a year. So wait till it's about a year old and then start modding it out.
Yeah.
Unless you want to say that you're the first.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. But I want to have that before our RTR actually comes out with the package. Because right now they can't come out with the package because they can't get the Mavericks. And I'm like, I got some.
They can purchase some off our lot. We got some. Take them.
We got some.
Do some R&D. Take them.
We'll send you a Maverick for you to do some graphics, but I want the first. I want number one. I want number one. Just send me the graphics. If I buy all the other parts we gotta buy them from RTR. Just send me the graphics for free.
I am cold.
All right. Anyway. All right. So, anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, we're having a lot of fun. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you guys. If you joined us, there's still 2-3 people in here letting us rant on about things. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. And
especially for the after hours segment.
So Ragnarcon, I'd love to offer consulting services to Ford on all of their Black Diamond. Yes. True. You know, they say they listen to customers. They just don't listen. They need to listen to the right customers. All of us, right? We can just give them. They just need to watch the live stream, and we'll educate them on what needs to happen, right? So, yeah.
If you lift the Maverick, you'll use up a lot of the storage when you put the step ladder in it, so that you can get it in the cab.
So it says, I wish Roush Performance made something for the Maverick. Here's the deal on Roush. Okay.
They're classic.
Last rant. Okay. On the Roush, I'm actually a little disappointed in Roush at this point because they are not working as closely with Ford as like RTR and some other people are. Even Air Design's working closer with Ford than Roush is right now. Right. So Roush will not have anything for the F-150 for almost a year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be this next summer before they're going to have any kind of F-150 Roush package. Whereas RTR already has, like on the Mustang, they had something out when the Mustang launched. That's how connected they were with Ford and working with them. Right now, Roush doesn't have that connection with Ford. They've kind of lost it. And that disappoints me with Roush. I used to really like them, and I love their performance, like the cold air intake and everything. Yeah. I put it on a lot of my vehicles, and I have that package on the Bronco, but they're a little disconnected right now with Ford.
Yeah.
So same way on the Maverick, they could have so easily. I mean, like Air Design they have the 25 Maverick. I shouldn't say that. They have a 25 Maverick right now that they're working on stuff for 25. So when it launches, they're available.
When we were at SEMA, I didn't see a single Roush product on any of the packages.
They weren't there.
No.
RTR was there.
So do you think either they're backtracking and going just down to certain things, or do you think that they are pulling back to them launch something better in the future?
I think they're just
disconnected.
Yeah. Anyway, we are a Roush dealer, and we always probably will be, but and they have good products. Not saying that. I just think that right now they're just a little delayed in everything because they're not working as closely with Ford as they could. And right now RTR thinks more like a customer than Roush is at this point. So Roush, I think, is disconnected a little bit from their customers, whereas I think RTR is they're right there in them. I mean, you look at Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn, he listens.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent a ton of time with one guy talking about his Mustang and everything. He listens to these people and he wants to know that. I mean, when we were talking to them about Maverick stuff, they were taking it all in. They're like, wow, I didn't realize there was such a Maverick community and things that wanted to mod out these Mavericks. And I'm like, there people want that. So I think RTR is more wanting to really be in the know on that. And anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that's something. Anyway, all right. That's that. But yeah, Roush, I mean, Roush, take a lowered Maverick. Roush should be good to do that. I mean, they used to do that one
do a
package.
track pack.
They used to do that with the F-150. What was it? Was it a nightmare package or something they did where they lowered it? They had an earthquake a long time ago, I think, but
it was a nightmare.
Yeah, but they lowered it and everything else. They could do that with that. I will say this: we lowered that Maverick, and it took forever to sell. I think there are a lot of people that want to see it, but don't want to buy it.
I think they want to see it and are unsure about buying it.
Yeah.
I
think the people
it may be more for racers or people that want the speed or that sort of thing.
I don't know, but
VTech, you did so much to your own. You don't need to screw it up with other stuff.
Always wanting to modify it, right?
Yeah.
Just when I thought I had everything on the Bronco, I'm like, oh, this is enough off road, and this is a lot of fun. I don't need anything more harder than this. And then I'm like, let's add a suspension left. I'm like, so I get it. I get it. All right, we better get going. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for joining us, and for all the chat and the after hours talk. Thank you guys very much. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I know we're thankful for you guys, our viewers, as well as our members too. Thankful for you, thankful for family. So I know we're getting together Thanksgiving Day and with family. So hope you guys have a great, happy Thanksgiving, and you are thankful for your family, friends, and everything you have. So other than that, I actually church this week, I actually quoted a quote that said that Pastor Doug had said, and it was really good. He says, people that are blessed are a blessing to be around.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. So people that are thankful to be around. I don't know. Anyway, that was pretty cool. But anyway, I remember that. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. But anyway, thank you guys very much. You are a blessing to be around. And I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourself.
And we will see you later.